Today, we're talking about 5 easy steps to pass your job interview. 5 easy steps to pass your job interview. I hope you got your paper and pencil ready. Take notes, please. Have my notes, always do. Ready? Let's go. Step 1, review the job description in its entirety. You want to look at the skills section, the software section. You want to look at the tasks, duties, key responsibilities. You want to look at the minimum qualifications. You want to look at the preferred qualifications. You want to look at everything on that job description because you want to be able to do one thing, and that is relate your past experiences, past duties, past jobs with what they need for this job. Everything that they need is outlined on that job description. It is your job to do your studying, to do your preparation so that you can relate that your past with this future, okay? Connect the dots. Yes, it's a lot that is involved with that, but as long as you know how to read, as long as you know how to write, as long as you have those abilities and you know how to think critically, then you can connect the dots to what you've done in the past and what they need in the future, okay? Okay. Step 2, practice the 10 most common job interview questions. You're never gonna see me stop talking about this because think about these companies, y'all. They have a blueprint. They have a book. All of these companies, if you ever start to notice, when you go from one job to the next, there are certain things that they all do the same. They all have certain meetings. They all have these Zoom calls. We all have corporate meetings. We all have pizza rewards. There's a lot of similarities. These companies don't want to make up the wheel again. The wheel has already been created. Why make it over? So what they're going to do is they're going to ask you those most common job interview questions over and over and over and over and over again. Those questions include the tell me about yourself question, the conflict question, the weakness question, the strengths question, okay? The above and beyond question, the mistake you made on the job, the leadership, the teamwork. They're all the same, guys. That's why it's crucial for you to study those basic questions, okay? Then they're going to throw in about 3 or 4, maybe even 5 of those intricate questions are those questions that are specifically based on that job that you're applying for in that job description that I already told you to be paying close attention to in step 1. Again, these are the secrets to passing your job interview. Step 3, research the company. This is not the time for you to come in the job interview saying, yeah, you know what, I couldn't really find out a lot of information about the company, or I really don't know exactly what you guys do, or I really forgot which company I applied for. You wouldn't believe me if I told you some of the things I've heard, okay, on the other side. So step 3, always look at the company. Whatever you can find on the company, it is not the 1980s. They all have websites. Majority of them have Google reviews, Glassdoor reviews everywhere. They have an about section. They have a company section. They have a mission section. You guys, it is time for no more excuses. Always, always, always take a look at what the company is doing so that you can speak on that during your job interview, so you can plan for it, maybe with your questions at the end, so that you can just be well versed. This also shows that you are passionate and that you are very much interested in this company, in this position, that you've done your job, you've done your due diligence to do that research. Step 4. So always prepare 3 questions to ask at the end of your job interview. You don't always have to ask all 3, but you need to prepare questions. It just shows that you're interested. It gauges, your interest. It just allows the people who interviewed you or that person that interviewed you, you can hold the microphone to them for a second, and there are 3 questions that I typically like to ask. Sometimes I ask all 3, sometimes I don't, but I'll tell you what they are. So one question I ask is, what does a typical day look like within this job? A lot of people have caught on to asking that, so I would possibly think of another one. Here's another one for you. Okay, what are the most common challenges, or what are the urgent challenges that are going on in this position? Where's the urgent need at? What is the number one priority in this role? Do you know what I'm saying? This is something that you would want to ask so that you can appear that you give a darn. Because you do. You know, you're not just here for the money. You care. So you want to ask that. Okay. The third question that you could ask, and I love to ask this question because it flips the script on them. So you want to ask the person that's interviewing you, so how long have you been with the company, if they haven't already told you, or just ask them, how long have you been with the company and what is it that keeps you here? You know, that right there flips it on them. It gives them an opportunity to talk and them an opportunity to either, you know, spill the beans or really kind of pull you in. And you got to remember, everybody likes talking about themselves. So they'll answer it. Number 5, the 5th thing you want to do to pass your job interview is know your salary expectations ahead of time. Jobs still ask this, okay? They just do. You know, they're not supposed to, but what they're not supposed to ask is what you're currently making. Okay, if anybody tries to ask you what you're currently making, that's a red flag. Okay, it's a red flag, but you don't have to answer that. What I would say is, I would say, you know what, I don't feel comfortable disclosing that amount right now. Or I would just say, you know what, I am not privy to disclose that right now. You know, put it back on the company. I believe it would be a breach of confidentiality if I disclose that right now. You just never know, because you can't talk about it at your actual job. You know, the rules say you're not supposed to be telling your coworkers what you make. So I'm not about to tell you, your old stranger company, what I make. So yeah, that is a red flag if they want to ask you that. But know your salary expectations ahead of time. And the way that you do that, of course, is do your research. If you guys can tell, I am always circling back to the word research because it's at our fingertips nowadays. Okay, Glassdoor, Salary.com. My favorite is called O-Net Online. Okay, which is an occupational, same as the occupational handbook that has all the different industries, all the salaries, all the education required. Do your job when it comes down to the salary research, your geographical salary research, all of it, so that you can do 2 things. 1, so that you can know your stuff. And 2, so that you're not lowball, so that you know what your worth is, what you deserve, how it aligns with your education, how it aligns with your experience. Know that information ahead of time so that you can avoid being lowballed. Because I hate to say it, but there are unethical people out there who will still try to lowball people. But the biggest thing when it comes down to knowing your salary ahead of time is the biggest thing when it comes down to knowing what your salary expectations are ahead of time is the fact that you want to come across as confident. You don't want to come across as, timid or just shy or, you know, I'm not sure, I was hoping for. You be firm. You practice that. It's a negotiation thing, you know. You have to be comfortable, confident, and just clear in what you're wanting to tell them. You know, you want to be firm. So do me a favor. Drop me a comment below if this helped you, if you'd like to know more, and definitely subscribe or share this with somebody who you think is going to help. But drop me a comment below. I'm happy to talk with you guys.